to a new edition of The Buzz here at Buzzworthy Radio. I'm your host, NaVell J, and we continue our South by Southwest coverage with an interview with Emily Robinson, who wrote, directed, and starred in the film Ugly Cry. The story follows a girl named Delaney, who is trying to get this role of a lifetime. She knows she's perfect for this role. However, she comes to find out that she may not be perfect, and the only person who thinks that is her. She goes to great lengths to find perfection, and you and I both know there's no such thing. There's no such thing as being perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, but she thinks she can achieve it, and she goes to great lengths to do so. This was an incredible movie that made you look and think, especially with how one perceives themselves, because you're already perfect just as you are. You don't need to do anything to achieve greatness. You're already great. I enjoyed this interview with Emily so much, and hopefully you guys will too. So here it is. Take a look at our interview with Emily Robinson. How long did it take for you to craft the entire thing for it to come together and
Um,
get
I
it
would
shot?
For sure. I would say the first time I had sort of been meditating on the film was probably like mid to late 2022. And at that time, there was sort of an outline. Like I had outlined the film and started sort of filming improvised scenes with a few actors, including Ryan Simpkins, who plays Maya. And
Okay.
then the next year, like January-ish, I think, is when I sort of like kind of knocked out a script, and then there was sort of like a lull because the strikes, so I was not able
Right.
to work. And then basically after the strikes, I was like, okay, I need to make this, and started sending it out to some producer friends for both notes and also to try to find the team. And that's when More Avenue came on board, and then there was sort of like a year of starts and stops as goes with indie film, and
Hmm.
then probably like a year after, basically, I had started working with them. We started working with Neon Heart Productions, which sort of gave us the green light, and
Yeah.
we that was like probably January of last year ish, and then we were filming in May, and we filmed for like like a month essentially, and and then post production has been a bit under a year, which is nuts. And
Yeah.
yeah, so now we're premiering a bit under a year after filming, which is amazing. I'm super excited.
I want to shout out someone who I caught in the movie who I became a fan of because he played Nicholas Cassadine on General Hospital for a little while. Adam Huss was in this
Yes,
in this
yes,
movie.
Adam's amazing. He's so wonderful.
Yeah, I saw him in there. I was like, oh my god, that's Adam. There he is. And then, so that was a very cool surprise for me to see that, and knowing his work on General Hospital, I was a fan of it for a little while. He wasn't on there that long, but I was really a fan of it. So to
Yeah.
see him in this was a real treat. And the thing I wanted to mention, since I I'm going to call back to the comment of the opinion I had. It's not a bad opinion. It's just it made me think of it because I when you're watching Delaney go to the extreme lengths to
Mhm.
make sure that she gets this role and how much she is striving to get this role to be perfect for this role, it made me think of that case from the late 90s in Australia, the Rachel Barber case, and how Christine, I think her name is Christine, and I might be wrong with that, and Christine was trying so hard to be Rachel Barber because she felt that Rachel was so perfect and Christine was not
Yeah.
perfect, and she wanted to take her life to be her.
Yeah.
And I felt like for Delaney, that's what she was doing with Ryan Simpkins'
Yeah.
character
Yeah.
in the same fashion, not to the extreme of this sense, but she also wanted to be her, especially when she went blonde
Mhm.
and with the Botox and everything. It was just, to me, she was there was for me it was no reason for that, but I saw the comparisons and I was going like, wow, it really made me think of this.
That's super
and
interesting.
and it was just true to life in that sense, and how that can happen. So, did you
Yeah.
have any thought of that at all? Have you heard of that case at all
I haven't
before,
even
or did
heard
you
of that,
even?
but oh my God, it does sound very similar. Like it is, yeah, I mean, it's so sad. I think, I think everyone has felt some level of that of like, oh my God, they're so cool. Like I want to be friends with them. Or do I want to be that person? Like, I
Yeah,
remember like I have really bad handwriting and in school I would always see people with good handwriting. I'm like, oh my God, like I want to be that person who has good handwriting. Like it could be on a really small scale or on a really obviously big and scary scale with serious real world repercussions. Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. No, thank you for telling me that. That's awful.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it was I'm besides my own show, I love true crime.
Yeah.
And I'm a big true crime fan. So when I saw this story a few years back and I actually had a refresher course, mind you, I actually rewatched that case maybe a week before I got this pitch to do this interview. So
Whoa.
it's funny how it tied itself together and it was and literally me rewatching it and then watching this movie and then seeing this and seeing those comparisons going, oh my gosh, this is somewhat similar to this. I mean, she was the neighbor, she was the babysitter of Rachel, and she saw her, and Rachel wanted to be like an actress and a dancer and everything like that. And
Yeah.
Christine wanted to be she wanted to be her and emulate her and even made her look, even when she came out of prison,
Yeah.
after she served her time, she made herself to look like Rachel.
That's
And
crazy.
that's when I saw Delaney made herself to look the way she did.
Yeah.
Immediately, it just made me go, "Oh my gosh, it's so
Yeah.
similar." And
It's
you
crazy.
you kind of think of sometimes it doesn't happen in real life,
Hmm.
but then when you find that thing where it actually did happen in real life, you just sit back and you're taken aback and you just reassess and go,
Totally.
this can happen. Guys, if you're watching this and you feel like this is extreme, no, this actually happened in real life. It may not have
Totally.
gone the
Totally.
extreme like this did,
Hmm.
but this can happen. And especially since there's stories about it,
Yeah.
it's good that we're now able to see it in this connotation, and you can now say to yourself, do I really need to be this person in order to succeed in life? Because I literally felt that way in the entire movie because just watching Delaney, I'm going, she didn't really have to
Totally. Totally. And
overexert herself.
so totally. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. I was like, I couldn't get the word out, but there it is.
Yeah, no, but I totally agree. And it's interesting because that was why it felt really important to have the role of Rachel, who's played by Heather Morris, who's kind of this like more successful, established, older actor. Not older, she's very young, but like older than Delaney. She has
Mm,
kids. And have that representation because she is going through a period in her life and we kind of get a taste of it
yeah,
where
you did.
she's also struggling and she's like gosh, like everyone forgets, and like now that her show's been canceled, it's like the memory of the industry is so little. So she is a person that like Delaney looks at and like covets the life that she leads, but she is living her life thinking like I'm not enough as well. And that's like the heartbreaking kind of like cycle that I think can happen if you let it in the industry and also in the world. If you are constantly looking over your shoulder like, oh, but I just wish I had this one other thing, or I just wish I was a bit more like that person, like to
Yeah.
constantly want is a recipe for unhappiness, I think.
It is a recipe for disaster. And we see that even towards the end, not right at the end, but we're getting towards the end where the role,
Hmm.
she's living the role because
Yeah.
then she just starts saying the lines in real time
Hmm.
when it's not a rehearsal. And so when you're watching that happen, especially with her boyfriend, and then they actually split and it was lines from the film, it's just, to me it was just very heartbreaking to watch that because she's now so immersed in this character that she can't escape it anymore. She's now broken from reality, I feel like.
Totally. I mean, it's very like society of the spectacle, like celebrity becoming an entity outside of a person, And like, I think even though Delaney is not a celebrity, she is still kind of like objectifying herself in a way that is estranging her from her own personhood,
Yeah.
and like makes this experience of like I'm trying, like, she's trying to escape herself basically and become
Yeah,
this thing, which is kind of how, yeah, her life, how she blows up her life. Um,
I I love how you said that.
thank you.
I love how you said that because she really is trying to be an enigma of something that she's not, and watching that with the Botox and then doing her own Botox, I think that was just, to me, I was just the whole movie for me was very riveting for me in the best way possible. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I couldn't take my eyes off of it,
I'm so glad.
and it was just everybody involved was wonderful. They were very excellent in this, and it just opens the eyes a lot to the point that you said earlier, to stay relevant.
Hmm.
And because something happened to where a show got canceled, and now Heather Morris's character, she's no longer viable anymore. She's now trying to stay viable, and what does she need to do? And Delaney's looking at that through that lens, going, I'm not even there yet,
Yeah,
but how do I stay relevant and viable now?
yeah,
So it's
completely.
very interesting, and it's very thought provoking, and I was very in tune with this entire thing, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And for it to premiere at South by Southwest, what is that feeling like for you right now for this to
I'm
happen?
just, yeah, I'm just beyond excited. I've never been to South by, and I've never been to Austin, so I'm like, I'm ready for all of it. I'm like, I'm there for the entire festival. I'm like, I'm gonna eat
Good.
so much food. I'm gonna see so many movies. No, I cannot wait. I just feel like it's the perfect place for us to premiere. And I'm excited to see where we go next. So, or I'm excited to announce where we go next. So,
I'm excited for you. I mean, Austin is a wonderful experience. I've been there. I enjoyed the food. I can't wait to get back. And so, but this is my first South by.
oh,
So
cool.
I've been to Austin for other things, but I've never been to Austin for a South by. So this
Yeah.
is my first experience with it.
Mhm.
And so I'm very interested to see how it all comes together, because I hear
Yeah.
nothing but great things about it. So I'm excited for you and your team. And please let's tell everybody how they can see the screenings of Ugly Cry.
Yeah, so right now, if you have a badge, it is available for reservation. We have screenings on March 12th at 6:45 p.m. at the Alamo Lamar, and then we have screenings on March 14th and 15th at 3:15, or no, 3 and then 3:15 respectively.
Mhm.
At first, the first two screenings are at the Alamo Lamar, and then the next one's at the Violet Crown. I believe tickets are basically going to be available like the day before or the day of
Okay.
via lines, unless you have a badge. Um, yeah, my parents still don't have tickets, so I'm like trying
We
to
all
coordinate with
listen.
everyone.
You're on the perfect program. I run last minute here, so I think we're
Yeah,
good. So
awesome.
totally understand it.
Yeah,
But I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud. And this again, this was a wonderful movie. It just broke all cylinders, and everybody who watches it, you guys, I think you're gonna really be in tune with what's perceived throughout this. So please check it out if you are at South by. Emily, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me about it and letting me express my opinions and my joys and my feelings about this movie. It was a great release, and I thank you so much.
oh my God, thank you. No, such a pleasure. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.